Hey everybody. Our last video we actually talked about pre-tournament poker prep. So we talked about what to do before a poker series, just some of the things to think about. So if you haven't checked it out, please go and check it out before you actually watch this video. Because today we're actually going to talk about what to do when you're at the series. So first off, we're going to talk about when you get to the venue. So first off, you've got to actually make yourself very familiar with the venue. So you need to make sure you know where the toilets are, where all the drink options are, where all the food options are. Doing this makes it sure that when you do actually play the event, that you're not rushing around trying to find toilets in the break. Sometimes with these breaks you only get 15 minutes, sometimes you get half an hour, but you don't want to waste some of those minutes trying to find where the toilets are. So the best thing is to get yourself familiar with the venue and work out exactly sort of the best route to the toilets, to the food, to the drinks. Last video we talked about getting hydrated before the event. This is another thing that we need to talk about today. So when we're talking about food options and drink shop options, they're going to actually have a lot of different ones. You need to get familiar with exactly where you're going to eat before you actually start playing the tournament. So some of us like to eat really healthy. And I do suggest that because the healthier food that you eat, the better off you're going to play, because you're going to feel good, you're not going to get lethargic, you're not going to actually get really tired. So the better the food options, the better you're going to play. So you need to make sure you know exactly where you're going. Now, some of you also just like to splash out and eat unhealthy. That's fine as well. You just need to know exactly where those options are going to be. So once you've done all this, once you've figured out exactly where you're going to eat, figured out where the toilets are, figured out where you can get drinks, you need to actually look at this, double check the schedule again. So you need to double check exactly what schedule is, what tournaments you're actually going to play. Hopefully, all going well, you play in the main event and don't have to play any side tournaments if it's just a 4-day event. But if you do get knocked out, you need to have already decided what tournaments you're going to play. This will actually stop you from just playing every tournament or just playing the wrong tournaments. One of our previous videos we talked about game selection. Now this is very important in this section because you're going to know your game style and you're going to know exactly where you should be playing. So a lot of the time when you don't actually do this prep and you don't actually decide what tournaments you're going to play, if you do get knocked out of the main event, you end up playing tournaments that aren't suited to your game, and that will just burn off your poker bankroll. So we don't want to do that. So make sure you check the schedule, check exactly what tournaments you're going to play, and worst case scenarios, if you do get knocked out of the main event, what tournaments you're going to play after that. You also need to double check your structures for all of your tournaments. So you need to double check your main event structure. You also need to check any, like if you decide to play a tag team event or if you decide to actually play any other event, you need to check these structures because you're going to, one, know the timing of what time you need to arrive, also what time you're going to actually finish. That way, if you do have to travel, you're going to actually know when you're going to get home or get to a hotel room you're staying at, but also you're going to know when your breaks are going to be, you're going to know when you need to eat, when you need to drink, all those things. If you don't know your structures properly, you're actually going to just go in blind, and you don't want to be doing that. You want to be actually just playing your top game and knowing exactly when you're going to get these breaks. For example, if you don't know your actual structure, you might not know that there's 3 blind levels before the next break. You might not know there's 10 minutes before the next break. You need to be aware of these so that if you do need to go to the toilet while you're playing poker, or need to get a drink, or need to get something to eat, you're going to know when the next break is, or you're going to know when the ideal time to actually get up from these events. Also, you need to, one of the biggest things that I find people doing is they don't know where they're going to spend their breaks. So one part of when you're at the venue, making yourself familiar with the venue, is that you can actually find out where you're going to spend those breaks and where it's going to be the best for you. Some people like to just go with the crowd, and some people like to just stand there and talk to other poker players, and that's fine. That's not a problem at all. Others also like to just get out by themselves, be able to sort of reset, but you're not going to be able to do that if you don't have spaces that you can go to that and do. So you're going to need to be able to know what to do with that. And it also means that you're going to know where you're going to the toilet, you're not going to know where you're going to spend your break, so your tournament's going to be a lot more structured and you're going to play a lot better poker because you feel comfortable and everything. So So that's everything for the poker series. Thank you very much for watching this video. Now we are going to actually do a giveaway on this video. So if you want to win a Yol Poker t-shirt, one of these, just a Yol Poker t-shirt there, you need to subscribe to our channel and actually write a comment and say you're subscribed. So once you do that, you will go into a draw, and we will draw one or two winners out, depending on how many entries we get, at the start of our next video. So, like I said, subscribe to the channel, put in the comments that you have subscribed, and you could win one of these Yol Poker shirts, and I will ship it to you personally. So, yeah, please do that. Also, if you haven't shared this video, I'd love for you to share it with your friends, especially your poker friends, because some of these videos would be really beneficial for some of those guys. So, again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.